We're here today to look how we carry out annual servicing on our boiler filters. Before we start this process, it's important to turn the boiler off. This can either be done at the isolation switch or the room stat to ensure the boiler's not going to fire during the time that we're carrying out this servicing work, which would normally last for a maximum ever of 60 minutes. At this point, we're now going to turn our attention to a normal system, and just here we have a pair of isolation valves. We're going to turn these isolation valves off solidly down so we've got no water that's going to pass through the filter. Our next stage will be to start to actually carry out the servicing. Normally on a brass filter we use a pair of pliers just to loosen the pressure slightly on the union fitting there, and we start to turn it back on itself, which is what we're doing to there, to the point where it's nice and loose. At that point then we'll loosen it back a bit further. We know there's water inside this part of the filter, so we've got a container ready to catch the water as it comes out. At the point we're ready to do that, we're going to turn our filter this way in this installation, which is up to there. So we're going to contain the volume of water inside there a minute, and we're going to loosen it out. Keep turning the union back till it's free spinning. So we're almost there, and at this point we're going to remove it from the wall in order to put the water into the bucket. So we've captured the water in the bucket now, and now we're going to proceed to look at the filter. At this point we're now going to crack the actual boiler filter open. We would always recommend the use of an adjustable spanner, not pipe grips, as these start to round the thread up too much. So slight manoeuvre, remove the spanner, and now we're going to unscrew the filter from the base. So we turn this back on itself to the point when it becomes free, and then we should get to a point where it's free now, and we withdraw it. The immediate observation is that we can see magnetite that's built up round the centre of the actual unit itself. So with the body of the filter, we'd recommend you remove the gauze and check there's no major deposits inside there, and have a quick look inside to satisfy ourselves there's no debris. A quick clean round the outside of it as we head back to reinstatement once we've cleaned the magnet. At this point we place that onto the ground in a safe position, and we now turn our attention to what we can see. This is the magnetite that's been pulled out of the system over a 12-month period. There's a plastic cover cone on here, so what we'd normally recommend is that you separate the two, place the magnet on the floor in a safe position, and then we're going to remove the magnetite off of the actual shroud. Right, we're now ready for cleaning the magnetite off here, and we'd recommend you get some kitchen roll or similar type of paper for cleaning, and we grab it at the top and we clean it down, and we keep repeating this process all the way around until we've got a clean white shroud again. And as we can see, a bit of a dirty process, but nevertheless a very important one. We dispose of the magnetite in an environmentally friendly way at this point. Our next stage now is to reassemble the unit back together again. So as we look at the magnet, we have a quick look inside there, we place the shroud back on top, and just for good measure, quick clean round inside there again, and make sure there's no debris. We would recommend in years 2 and 3 changing the actual seal, so there's no ring on the outer casing and there's a flat rubber washer in there. These are readily available from us for annual replacement, so all you need to do is give us a quick call and we will send them on to you. So we place that back inside the main body like so, and we turn it up this way, and as you can see it goes in quite easy. Keep turning it down to the point it feels doesn't want to go anymore. We get hold of our adjustable spanner again and just give it a little nip up. Then we're going to take this back to the system. We're now reassembling the filter back into the main body, into the pipework. We push the unit inside, we tighten the union hand tight, and then at this point we're going to rotate it back into the upright position before final tightening, because the key thing is we've got an air vent on there that in a minute we need to vent the system. So we tighten that up and make sure it's tight, which it is at this stage. So our next stage of this is that we've made it watertight, and we're now going to turn the isolation valves back on again in order to ensure the water is flowing through the unit. The next part in this is that we need to vent the unit, as at the moment the canister will be full of air. So we open it up and we've got water again. We've turned it off. Then at this stage it's important to think about the pressure of the system. So what we're looking for on the boiler gauge at the moment, this being a combination boiler, is 1.5 bar cold, ready to fire up again. So we're satisfied that we have no leaks on the system. We've done a check, we've checked the pressure, and we're now ready to fire the heating system back up again. That's all that's required on yearly maintenance. Key thing is, maximum time you would ever need is 60 minutes.